Welcome into Hamilton High School field. We're getting ready for the matchup between the West Hancock Titans and the LVC Miners. We just got the kickoff up and away. Titans kicked it off. The Miners set to receive. They got a return all the way up to around the 34-yard line to start the opening drive of this matchup. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, West Hancock Titans Sports, presented by LJ Insurance. Both these teams coming in with a winless record so far this season, 0-5. Missed tackle there by the Titans, but finally pushed down the running back, Bryson Ferguson, for the Miners. The only win for the Titans last season was against the LVC Miners. That was away at Spoon Valley, where they got the win. I believe it was 66-6 at the end of it. Getting ready for the matchup here. Again, both teams are winless coming into this matchup with only 3 games remaining in the season for the West Hancock Titans, as well as the LVC Miners after this one. They motion him over, get the pitch on the reverse, and puts his head down and lays the hammer, but only a couple of yards for Ethan Shields, but big physical run there from the Miners.
Very physical run.
My name's Luke Little. John Little here with me as my color again. Emily Hagee running the camera as always. Getting ready for 3rd and 6. Miners starting with the ball, 10:45 on the clock. Like to run the ball a lot. We'll see what they run out of this package here. 3 backs.
Yeah, this was their first down play. They had 2 lead blockers as they approached the line of scrimmage. Going the fullback here. We got a little motion.
This is going to be a false start on the offense. This will move them back 5 yards and make it a 3rd and 11. They gave it to the middle back there.
Very tough yardage for both of these teams. A 3rd down and 10. They'd like to stay in, 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 5, 3rd, anything less than 3rd and 5.
Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Miners.
3rd and 10 is the official call here for the Miners.
Same formation here with the 3 running backs in the backfield. Good roll out.
Trying to get the pass away. They can't, and sacked by Ethan Schmidt in the backfield. And that's going to force the Miners to punt it away. Ethan Schmidt gets into the backfield. Nobody was open on that route for the Miners. Result in 4th and 20 for LVC. Ethan Schmidt, his 2nd sack of the year, only one prior to that. And Miners set to punt it away. High snap, but corrals it. Nice little punt here. Over to Tucker Colsenberg.
Wow.
Didn't read it right, excuse me.
Played that.
And all the way to the 22-yard line. Would have caught it around the 35, but just over his head. And that's where the Titans are going to start with their first drive of the game at the 22-yard line.
What I liked about that is a little miscue there, but they didn't go after the ball and touch it and create a fumble situation. Figure we'll just get the offense out here and let them move down the field.
The Titans do have some different jerseys here today. They're rocking with their military uniforms. It's Military Appreciation Night here at Hamilton, Illinois. A couple of number changes. Nolan Gooding, who normally wears number 7, is going to be number 5. Number 23 is Tucker Coltenberg, who normally wears number 12. And Case Cole-Morgan is wearing number 96 today as well. Titans set up shotgun, trips left. They roll out with the pitch option, but Varner's going to keep it and hit after gaining about 5 yards by number 88, Carter Sowers of the Miners, but it's going to be a gain of about 6 yards and 2nd and 4 here for the Titans. Titans lost one of their bigger weapons in Gunnar Grothaus in their previous game. Schmidt in to replace him. Quick pass over to Gooding, gets one block by Coltenberg and another, and tackled about 2 yards short of the line, the first down marker, I should say. It's going to be 3 yards to go after this one. That screen pass out to Gooding, just not enough for the Titans. 3rd down. Gooding on the year coming into this one. He has 239 reception yards on the season. He averages 7.5 yards per reception. We got trips left. Coltonberg, Schmidt, and Froman. Gooding, the lone receiver on the far side of the field. Set up in shotgun. 3rd and 4. 8:14 on the clock. Drop back to pass. Look over the middle. Wide open is Gooding. Tries to juke one out. He does and gets about 10 more yards. And that's going to be a Lost Boy Digital first down for the West Hancock Titans. They're going to run a quick one here. No huddle against the Miners. They like their offensive package against this defensive showing here from LVC. Same thing, trips left. See if they go right back to Gooding here. Has a one-on-one. Don't know if they're going to get a drop help. They're not, but they're going to run it up the middle this time to Daydant. And it's going to be a gain of about 3 yards. I like that little switch up there going to the run instead of kind of faking the same play.
Correct, yeah. Like they ought to show the run. It helps keep the those little screen passes and those little slants, 5-yard slants open.
Titans looking over for the play here. Running a lot of trips left here today. I believe this is 4th play so far running out of this trips package. Shotgun, drops back to pass. Looking over to Gooding. He can't find him. He tries to go over top, and this one's going to be long. No good. Got a little held up around the 40. And that'll make it 3rd and 7. Ball sitting on the 46-yard line with 7:23 to play. I'd like to thank everybody for joining in and watching here today. I had a huge crowd of people watching in the Stark County game. I'd like to thank everybody for joining in. Put in the comment section who you're rooting for, where you're watching from. Love to give everybody a shout out here. Shotgun, trips left. Same exact thing. Looks like they're running singles. Motion over Coltonberg to the other side. Now you got Schmidt and Froman on the near. Gooding and Coltonberg on the far side. Shotgun, drops back to pass, looks left.
There we go,
Get lots of pass rush here and a sack all the way to the 39-yard line. Got about 4 rushers in, and that Titans offensive line just couldn't control them.
Yeah, I think the hot route was the slot receiver here on the left side of the formation. Just didn't have enough time to get rid of the ball.
Titans going to have to punt this one away here. Froman going to be the punt man for the Titans. He's had some really nice punts so far this year. And a timeout going to be taken by LVC. I think it was almost a 12-man on the field. If the Titans would have snapped it, could have been a 12-man on the field penalty. But a timeout for the Miners will stay with you here so far. 2 quick drives from both teams. Just Titans got 1 first down, but the Miners yet to get a first down here. Only 1 drive into the game so far. I've only ran 1 passing play as well, but didn't have a lot of time. Neither quarterback really had a lot of time on their drive-ending plays, I should say. Just not enough time for the quarterback. 6:48 on the clock here. Titans looking for their first win of the season along with the Miners. Same storyline as last year. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining. I'm Luke Little. John Little here with me in the box. Emily Hagee on the camera. This is our first game of the year at Hamilton. All of the home games last year were here at Hamilton because Warsaw was rebuilding their track. That said, we had our first 2 games at Warsaw this season. The last 2 will be here, including senior night. The punt by Froman, that's a high one. It's going to be a little short, but not too bad. High bounce. I wouldn't even try to touch that if I was LVC. He does. Gets to the outside. This is going to be a great return all the way to around the 50 and out of bounds. That was a risky return there.
It was. With the defender, we do have a flag on the field.
We'll see what this is.
No indication yet.
Nope.
The officials are.
There's a flag on the field.
Froman averages 32.6 yards per punt. Is that a block in the
block in the back?
That is a block in the back on the Miners. That's going to be from the spot of the foul, 10-yard penalty. They'll still get the ball. And they'll start. The flag is sitting around the 44-yard line, so I believe.
They just placed the ball at the 35, it looks like. Yep.
That's where they'll start the drive. So the penalty did occur at the 45. They'll move them back 10, and this is where they will start their second drive of the game. Miners with it, set up in that same look with 3 backs. Shotgun. Gives it off to the tailback. Almost gets hit behind the line of scrimmage and tackled by 3 Titan defenders, but not before gaining 3 yards. A nice start to the drive there on the ground by number 27. That's Bryson Ferguson with another run here today.
He got up a little gimpy there. It looks like his leg's a little sore. He's favoring, I couldn't tell if he was favoring his left side or his right side. But
so far, LVC's been running hard football, not afraid to put their head down, make some contact, and both Ferguson and Ethan Shields. And they give it off, this one to Shields up the middle, and he puts his head down, but gets tripped up, only a gain of about 2 yards, and that's really the best way to tackle a guy like Shields, somebody who's already been physical in this one early. That's going to be 3rd and 4 here for the Miners. 5:37. Are you looking to go to that pass play that they tried to do on their last 3rd down, or do you think they go back to the run and try to get something outside?
Well, I'm thinking they're coming out with a run here. Just see if they show us that, those 3 running backs in the backfield. It gives them some advantage because they get 2 lead blockers, depending on who they hand the ball to here. So
same formation, drop back, and they give it off.
Yeah,
got the outside, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Miners. Kind of gave up there at the end, knew he got it. I think he might have thought he stepped out of bounds, but Bryson Ferguson picks up the 1st down for the Miners. And that'll be 1st and 10. Ball will be placed on around the 46-yard line. 5:08 on the clock.
1st and 10 from the 48.
They showed no receivers on the near side of the field, had no blockers out there, but still got to the outside, I think, with some pulling guards. And, again, it's those 2 backs that they have that are lead blockers for them running out of this package.
Here they go with a spread. We got 2 left, 2 right receivers.
The pitch option
spread
here.
Us out.
They give it to him and hit. Keep on going, only 3 yards. And the tough part about the pitch that I've seemed to notice more and more is you feel like you're gaining so many yards because you're running for so long, but it's so far behind the line of scrimmage that by the time you get the ball, you're only getting 2 or 3 unless you get a big break there at the end.
Yeah, they're just running perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, and they're not gaining yardage.
East to west, not north to south. 2nd and 6. Ball on the 48 of the Titans. They have crossed into enemy territory here. 4:30 on the clock, showing 2 receivers, 3 backs. Shotgun, about 4 yards deep. They fake the pitch, trying to get to the outside. Coltenberg got him by the ankle, but can't bring him down. Then a horde of Titans get in and swallow him up. Coltenberg gets the ankle, but then Ryan Horn gets in to finish him off, along with, I believe, Cole Furtado.
Great team tackling there. Very good pursuit.
That's going to be a loss of about 7 yards. 3rd and 12 now here for the Miners. 2nd time they've tried to pass it that they get sacked.
Yeah, obviously, I think their bread and butter play is you got those 3 running backs in the backfield. See if they come out here. Yep, they're going to go back to.
Haven't gained a lot of yards on this.
Real tight here. They got 2 tight ends now, no wide receivers in this set.
They pitch it over. This one to number 27, Ferguson, trying to get to the outside. He can't this time.
Good.
Varner, I believe, on the pursuit there.
Very good. Good job for the Titans. They're, kind of stretching that out to the line of or to the out of bounds line.
It's going to bring up 4th and about 9 to go. And the other thing I've noticed, running out of that 3-back package, it's not a big yard play. They might be able to bust one every now and then, but it's really like 3 or 4 yards every time. So when you're stuck with a 3rd and long, you gotta get lucky. Very tough, yes. Miners set to punt it away. Froman and Coltenberg set to return. It was a great punt last time by number 88, Carter Sowers. This one up, good spin, all the way to the 20, off the hands of Coltenberg. He dives on it. We'll see who has it. And it is the Miners. They come up with the ball off the chest plate of Coltenberg, and he's obviously frustrated with himself. I believe it's number 14, Alex Adams, who comes up with it, the senior. And that's where the term punting is winning comes into play. It's going to be 1st and 10. They just got, you could say, a 30-yard play on that one all the way to the 24.
That's a very big play for the Miners.
Now
if they could just stay in positive yardage, you know.
This is where you run 3-4 straight plays out of this 3-back package, and they're running with
very tight set here.
Offset tight ends, it seems. Drop back to pass, however, and blocked by Varner.
Giving these passes broken up by Bryce Varner.
Get in. I'm not a big fan of that pass play there.
Well, what was interesting about the set was all 3 running backs were to the left of the quarterback. A little different formation that they've seen so far.
Yeah, it seems like they had a fullback offset tight end, and then they had their tailback as well. And they, as you said, they all went to the left side, so they try to get to the right side. Everybody's going to be looking to the opposite side of the field than where they're going on the defense, but did a good job. Varner coming off the edge, and I couldn't quite tell if we had a cornerback on the receiver that was targeted, but sometimes Varner, if he comes on that edge, it's a 50-50 play. Either you get the ball or it's going to be a reception, but a great job there getting his hands active. 3rd and 3 minutes and 10 seconds left, 2nd and 10. They tried to run it up the middle to get a few yards, and he's going to get all the way around the first down. Flag is down. This might be a face mask here from the Titans. Not sure. Carter Sowers on the carry.
Gain of about 8 yards.
We'll see what the call is. It'll end up being 3rd and 2. Face mask on the defense. This is going to move them forward, I believe. Since they're on the 15, this might be a half a distance to the goal type penalty. This will move them up to the 7-yard line, and it is going to be half the distance to the goal since they were at the 15. They're in the red zone here. 2:59 to play. Titans need to get 4 stops in a row. If I remember correctly, the Miners not a big punt team or field goal unit team, I should say. See if that's changed so far over the seasons. Set up with 2 backs this time. Fullback, halfback. They hand it off and met behind the line of scrimmage by the Titans. And number 57, Jess Scott, he gets in there to get the hit in the backfield. That'll knock him back about 5 yards.
What?
That'll be 2nd and 12. 2:20 on the clock here. 2nd and 12. Titans defense trying to hold strong. Not allowed the first score of the game. Got out early in their matchup last year. Early and big. Miners putting up a fight right now. They give it over to the outside, and
that's a hold.
That's got to be a hold, and there's a flag in the air. And Shields pushed out of bounds at the 10, but this is going to move them back. I believe Ethan Schmidt is a player down on the field here. Just got rocked in his head. We'll have the trainers come out to take a look at him. Yeah, just going to be, I believe, a holding call is what's going to be against the Miners. If it's accepted, it'll move him back 10 yards. It's not Schmidt down currently. We're going to take a quick break here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. West Hancock Titan Sports, presented by LJ Insurance. We'll be right back after this injury timeout.
We're for agriculture, for growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions, leading the field.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back to Hamilton High School. We're getting ready for this 2nd and 22. They was a holding penalty against the Miners. Trying to go over top here. Have an open running back and just can't quite get it. Was Shields the targeted receiver, and Varner kind of gets a little lucky there, but gets a hit on him, loosens the ball just a little, enough for it to bring up 3rd and 22. 1:40 left. Caden Greer was the injured Titan player on the field.
He's back in the game.
Back in the game. I think it just got his head a little bit rocked there for a moment. Gage Carlton came in as a sub. I believe he's back on the sideline now. He is. Set 3rd and 22. Tough area here for the Miners. Have not completed a pass yet. Titans allow 60% completion in opposing team passes so far this season. Titans get some pressure, but open middle of the field here. Varner hits him around the 11-yard line. It'll be 4th and 11 there. Gain of 11 yards. But this is going to be 4 down, Terry. Just get a little bit. Give yourself an option to go here for the end zone. A good progressive play there, but might not be enough. Haven't seen very many double-digit yard gains from the Miners here today so far. Titans trying to get a stop. A minute left here in this quarter. Coach Dorothy trying to get the officials prepared for a delay of game.
Fans, let's hear it for your defense. One more play to stop them here.
They snap it, drop back to pass, looking left. Horn got through. They throw it to the end zone, just can't catch it.
That's quite all right that he didn't catch it because it was turnover on down. So we'll get, Titans are going to get the ball here at the line of scrimmage.
The intended receiver was Carter Sowers. Hit his hands, just couldn't quite come down with it. He was going to be short of the end zone anyways, around the 2. Had a couple Titan defenders right there ready to hit him, unless by some way he would have spun out and got into the end zone, which very well could have happened, but just can't quite corral it.
Even after that face mask where they got 4th down and goal, or 1st and goal, Titans defense held there. Had some great defensive plays there.
3 passing plays for the Miners. 4 passing plays, actually. Had a quarterback run on one of them. It was not an intended play, but good job seeing the field and finding his gaps was Jackson Gibney, the quarterback for the Miners. Titans get with the ball, 37 seconds left here in the first. Screen pass over to Froman. He's got one block, has one more to beat, and he kind of stumbles, gets around the 21. I would have liked to see him just burst out there instead of kind of trying to juke him out. I would like to see Froman use his speed. Very athletic player in Hunter Froman. It's going to be 2nd and 1. We'll see if they run the clock out or run one more play here. A lot of options here on the 2nd and 1 for the Titans.
Yes, 2nd and 1 is a favorable down.
Can go over top, can just get the first. They're going to elect to get the first here with Dadant. They're going to mark him right on the 21, but the far official has the ball, which is unusual. The near official didn't call it, but the far did. They're going to give it a Lost Boy digital first down, and that's going to end the first quarter of play, 0-0. Only one team has gotten into the red zone here today so far. One muff punt from the Titans. We're going to head to a quick break. We'll be right back for this second quarter action here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH and West Hancock Titan Sports, presented by LJ Insurance. We'll be right back.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today, and make your voice heard.
Welcome back to Jim Replinger Field here in Hamilton, Illinois. 12 minutes on the clock. We're getting ready for the second quarter of action. Not much offensive action from either team, but defensive play has been good so far from both squads. Titans set up in shotgun. Interesting stack here on the left side. They're going to run the wide receiver screen again over to Gooding. Gooding stiff arms one of the Miners defenders leave. That was Brennan Grover, Bryson Ferguson trying to get the tackle, but only a gain of about 1 yard. So Miners do a great job of corralling on the ball and getting the tackle.
Gain of about 1, 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 here for the Titans. And we were just talking off the break. We'd like to see a lot more runs from the Titans. It seems like their running plays they've gotten a first down and maybe some quarterback options running out of a trips package here. Spread out the Miner defense, and Varner, he's got some legs on him as well.
I believe he's the second leading rusher on the team.
They motion over Dadant, and this one's going to be a quarterback keeper here. Shows off the juke moves and tackled around the 26-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 4, and running that play on first down, however, then you'd be set up for a 2nd and 5. Now you're set up for a 3rd and 5, a much tougher position.
But we're keeping the middle of the defense honest by doing that, and see if we can't catch one of these defenders thinking we're going to throw a quick screen.
Varner.
We got a penalty.
It's most likely going to be a false start against the Titans. False start is the call. Varner is the leading rusher for the West Hancock Titans so far this year. 282 yards is the total, not counting his yards so far today. Dadant with 269. He's the second leading rusher for the Titans. Coltonberg was the main back for the first couple of games, but then they decided to move him out to receiver. But Dadant and as back. Great pass there over to Gooding, and that's going to be a Lost Boy Digital first down all the way to the 35, and a great-looking pass.
That was a great pass.
Right into.
That's what you call trusting your athlete. He's going to put the ball out there and let Gooding just.
And it was great location.
Very good location.
Where the defender could not. At the end of the game last week, they're going to go over top, and this one just way too deep. Varner could not quite connect with Gooding on that one.
And it looked like Gooding ran a little hitch and go. Got a little tied up with the defender there, which is why the ball was so far out in front of him.
They do love to run the hitch and go with Froman and Gooding. Schmidt, we saw get some action as well to end off a game last week against Stark County. I believe it was 3 passes in a row, 3 first downs in a row for him at the end of that game.
Running right down the seam, right down the hash mark, and threw a fairly quick pass and was able to get significant yardage.
Haven't targeted him yet here today. 11:01 on the clock. They're going to motion over Dadant. Got a blitzer off the edge. Varner tries to find the outside. Out of bounds around the 39-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6 to go here for the Titans. Something out of nothing there. And at first I couldn't quite tell if it was a drawn-up quarterback run, but it seems like the pulling guard just got there a little bit late. Had somebody blitzing off the edge. And I will say, as a defensive lineman, that is probably one of the most scary things is seeing a big guard coming off the edge.
I would keep our eye on Gooding and the defender here, number 26. They've been getting a little physical with each other. We'll just see if they're.
That's Brennan Grove. This is going to be a false start against the Titans again, and that's going to make it 3rd and 10, a tough position for the Titans off a 3rd and manageable. It's going to make it 3rd and long. Have the back judge coming in here.
Now, Coach Dorothy was saying something to the official on the sideline here.
Not sure what the official word is. I believe it's going to be against the Titan. A couple of LVC defenders are pointing at it. And I do think, as you were saying earlier, the chippiness between Gooding and Brennan Grove. Offsides is the call against the Miners. This is going to be a first down for the Titans, or close to it. Some confusion still here.
Okay. They're waving something off.
Waving it off. Is that an unsportsmanlike? I'm not sure what that.
Yeah, that is an unsportsmanlike signal is what that is, and they're marking the ball 15 yards.
Yeah, so
it wasn't any kind of action. I wonder if it was, did someone say something? they believe their coaching staff is asking for clarification.
Which is the right thing to do here.
Yep.
And I was kind of confused to see his arms.
I found it interesting that back judge way back here come up to talk to the official. Now we're going to have to, okay.
Which is never the official to call a false start or an offsides. But here we go. Got to wait for the chain gang to get all caught up. Well, nonetheless, it's a Lost Boy Digital first down for the West Hancock Titans with 10:54 on the clock. Ball on the 45. Drop back to pass, looking over. Got a blitzer off the edge. Great job stepping up in the pocket. He can't quite get to Gooding there. Had him if he just got a little less. But a great job stepping up.
Stepped right into the pocket, seen his receiver coming open. Just led him a little too far.
And in Varner's first year at quarterback, again, was wide receiver last year, led the team in reception touchdowns, actually broke the school record for reception touchdowns in a season with 13 there. And sometimes you see quarterbacks get real timid when they're scared when you see a guy coming off the edge, and they immediately look for the ground game. But a great job there, still looking for the pass, even after the rusher nearly got to him, getting the pressure in. Good job by the Miners defense, though, to hold strong. 2nd and 10 is the call. Ball on the Miners' 45-yard line. 2 wide receivers either side. Got 2 linebackers playing the middle. 1 outside linebacker blitzing in. Dayton up the middle and tackled by number 53. That's going to be Brody Thumb. And 3rd and 8. That's going to be the call for the Titans. We'll see what Coach Dorothy goes with here. Shotgun is going to be the call again. And they blitzed 4 there, or 5 there, it seemed. Number 27 on the near side coming off the edge. Drop back to pass over the middle of the field is Froman. Fingertip catch. He gets it, has an open field. Can he get to the end zone? One more drags him down around the 16. Just couldn't quite get his feet under him to find the end zone on that one. But Froman with the fingertip snag gets it all the way for the Lost Boy Digital first down in the red zone for the Titans. Their first drive of the game in the red zone. Great catch by Froman and a great pass by Varner. Quarterback keeper here trying to get to the outside. Got a couple blockers in Data and Smith. Cuts back to the middle. Cuts back to the outside. Has one more to beat. Falls in the end zone. Touchdown Titans with 9:56 on the clock. They get the Cole Morgan Halling touchdown, and you can't teach that kind of juke move there that Bryce Varner just showed off.
He was so patient. He kept running off the backside of a teammate, left, right. That was all Daydan.
Daydan did a great job getting out there on the blocks, as well as Schmidt getting there as well. And Varner just showing off the juke moves, gets a couple of broken tackles and finds the end zone, gives the Titans the lead, 6-0, 9:56 on the clock.
Officially know why he wears the bright yellow shoes now.
He's got
those
speed.
kind of moves.
You're allowed to wear them. 2-point conversion here. Same setup. They pitch it over to Gooding, and he just runs right into the defender.
All right, that was just man-on-man right there.
And that's the first time we've really seen that kind of offensive package out of the Titans. We've seen it out of the Miners a lot today, but really the first time we've seen that 3-back option out of the Titans.
It brought all the defenders inside the hash marks, and they went with their athlete on the outside of the formation there. And he beat his defender.
Gooding is about 6'2", physically strong, and a big athlete there for the Titans. It's going to be tough to cover on the edge, and there you just see him kind of bullies. If there's few guys that could stop him there with momentum one-on-one on the outside with only 2 yards to go.
Correct.
So even if you hit him, you could just fall forward.
Right.
Tough position there for the Miners defense. Had some good showing, but just couldn't quite hold on at the end. Great pass to Froman, set up the quarterback keeper. Again, great blocking, getting into the second level. And then again, Varner making his own plays, just finding the end zone, scoring the touchdown. Then you got Gooding for the 2-point conversion. And now the Miners have to answer. They'll get the ball, 9:56 on the clock.
That unsportsmanlike is really sparked something there. Very quick. We just kind of went down the field and scored.
And
right
we have
after
no
that.
word on who the unsportsmanlike was on or what it really was. And again, that's something we've talked about every single game, something you can't really process up here or talk about up here is why they called it if it's something that the player said. We have no idea what they're saying. We can only see what they're doing down on the field. Sideline warning against the Titans. It is just a warning, so we'll have no penalty effect. However, one more, I believe, will be an unsportsmanlike conduct, 15 yards. And it could potentially lead to ejection depending on who it's on.
Usually it's the head coach that gets a little seat on the bench.
Great kickoff all the way to the 10 off the fingertips of the return man, but tries to get to the outside, breaks a couple defenders all the way to the 25, still up. He has a chance to get out of there. He can't. On the 32-yard line, that's a great return, 9:41 on the clock.
I was looking for the yellow shoes with him.
That was a great play by number 27, Bryson Ferguson. At first, the ball slipped through his hands and thought it was going to be a tough starting field position for the Miners, but came out with some great speed, broke a lot of tackles. Wasn't as flashy as Varner with the juke moves, but was a lot more physical, just breaking the tackles.
I mean, they're on the 31-yard line here, so.
Gain of about 25 off that. 1st and 10 here for the Miners. See what they run out of here. I showed a couple different offensive looks. This being one of them with only one back. Trips left. Shotgun. Love to run out of shotgun, which is unusual for a team that likes to run the ball a lot. They give it up the middle, fake the counter, and around the line of scrimmage and team tackled by the Titans. Just couldn't find any open gap. Number 42, Dempsey Whitsitt on the carry. Again, some big physical runners here from the Miners. Just not a lot of yardage yet today. But again, any breaking play can come out of nowhere. Titans got to stay on the lookout.
Yeah, their most successful run was they spread the Titans out, and then the quarterback didn't find a receiver and ran, the middle was wide open.
12-yard run up the middle was that play. Drops back to pass. 2 wide receivers each side. Gooding tries to get in. He can't. Great pass, but was he out of bounds? They're going to say he caught it. Daydant tries to get him out of bounds. He can't in time. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 5 to go. And I believe number 28, Wesson McLaren, was on the reception.
Yeah, that looked like Hunter Froman with trying to shove him out of bounds before his foot could come down.
Froman at cornerback, here for the Titans. Did play quarterback for the freshman JV team last season for the Titans in his sophomore year. 2 wide receivers each side. They don't run it. Drop back to pass. Look over. Wide open on the outside, but, couldn't quite corral it at first, but gets it all the way to the 50 and finally tackled out of bounds. That's a great play from Sowers. And bobbled it at first, but great job retaining it. And he gets the 1st down, and I believe that was Caden Greer. Couldn't quite wrap him up. He had about 10 yards of separation there.
Took advantage of the missed tackle.
Got about 10, 12 yards after the initial hit. First and 10, ball at the 49. Quarterback keeper. It's an option here. And Schmidt gets in and tackles him up by the shoulder pads, close to the helmet, but great job wrapping him up. Legal tackle there from Schmidt. It's a 2-yard loss from the Miners. That'll bring up 2nd and about 13 to go. It's going to be 2nd and 12 to go here for the Miners. 8-0 our score. 2 wide receivers each side. They rush the middle, trying to get in. Quick
Nice
pass
tip.
and tipped, and Schmidt has been getting active here today.
I think offensively we're saving his energy because defensively he's really stepping up.
And Schmidt, someone I do know personally on this team, is a big physical guy. He's not afraid to get hit or take hits as well. But that time, kind of laying back, just getting his hands up in the air, knocking it down. Good play there from Ethan Schmidt. Makes it a 3rd and 12. This is around 4-down territory, but we have seen some good punts out of the Miners here today. Wouldn't be surprised if they get stopped here, if they just elect to punt it away. But not yet. 2 wide receivers each side. It's still 3rd down. 1 back. Drop back to pass. Looking left. Has Schmidt blitzing, trying to catch up to him on the outside. Quick pass over the middle of the field, completed, and a 1st down here for number 26, Brennan Grove. And Froman just kind of loses his defender there on the extended play, and that's a tough place to be as a cornerback. Extended plays are really hard to cover defensively. 1st and 10.
And it looked like that linebacker, when the quarterback started rolling out, he left the middle of the field, come to pursue the quarterback, which left the middle of the field, a little bit more exposed.
Credit to Jackson Gibney, the quarterback there, just extending the play and completing a good pass over the middle of the field. 1st and 10, drops back, looking right. Has somebody on the seam route. Varner's there. Did he grab that? No, not yet quite. Incomplete.
He started his back pedal a little early. I was getting a little nervous, but it looked like he got his hands on it.
Went up for the one-hand snag and trying to get last year's receiver skills back in him there, it seemed, for a second, but the no gloves hurting him. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. At first had the receiver, I thought, on the post route, but couldn't quite get him. Or corner route, I should say.
Their passing game seems to come around a little bit. They've been successful in some passes here. So
I think they're starting to notice the out routes. The 3 routes are getting open here over on the corners. They pitch this one. It's a double reverse and fumbled. Still going to get a couple of positive yards here and a few more, and a flag comes flying in. This is either going to be a holding or a face mask. Not sure what the call will be. It'll bring up 3rd and 5, but we'll see who the flag is on.
Pending this call here.
The result would be a 3rd and 5, but we'll see what holding on the offense. That's going to move him back from the spot of the foul, I do believe, which will result in a 10-yard penalty.
That's really tough because the play was actually supposed to go left side of the play formation, but the handoff was bobbled.
I couldn't quite tell if it was an intentional fake and he just dropped it after they might have made some accidental collision, or if it was a purposeful, because all the guards were pulling, which is what they're supposed to do. So you still had that guy on the outside. I just don't know if that was a purposeful.
Yeah, I don't know why you would run that fake behind the line of scrimmage
if you're not going to actually
if you're not going to run the play to that side. But pulling guards usually take you to the football. So
and you normally wouldn't have a read there from that initial runner. And that one going to be stopped short of the line. It'll bring up 3rd and about 20 to go. And correction, it wasn't 10 yards from the spot of the foul, unless the spot of the foul was at the initial line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd and 21 here for the Miners. Had a great drive going, and that penalty really kind of halts them.
Yeah, that penalty hurt the Miners.
Titans with their first game at Hamilton, Illinois. Lost every home game last year. Trying to get their first home win this season against the Miners. Have one more against Illini West in 2 weeks' time. Set up 3 backs, a high formation it seems. Drops back to pass, looking for a back on the flat. He can't quite get there, and they're going to call it incomplete. And Tucker Kolzenberg was on the ball if it would have been caught, but Titans get their hands on it. Had the flat route out, and interesting because they had 3 running backs all lined up behind the quarterback. Ran 2 of them in a flat, and one of them cutting up the seam. But 4th and 21, ball on the Titans 48, and they're going to punt this one away. Sowers, the punt man. Froman and Kolzenberg set around the 30-yard line.
I don't know why they're walking. They're walking up to the line of scrimmage here.
Interesting play. Maybe they're thinking that'll roll into the end zone if it goes over to them. Froman just gets away from this and
and it checked up nice if you're a Titans fan. So
around the 18-yard line, but still a great punt there from Sowers. And it was interesting because we were hearing some Titan coaches up here tell them to get to the 30, get to the 30, get to the 30, and they came up to the 30. The ball lands around the 20. No real time for a return anyways if they were there, and maybe they just didn't want another muffed punt.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering with the way they were coming back up to the line of scrimmage. So Titans got fortunate. It looked like that ball checked up a little bit and didn't roll 20 yards further.
1st and 10, 5:37 on the clock. Ball going to be placed at the 18-yard line here for the Titans. Varner comes out with the play. Looks like the Miners setup. I was going to say one safety over top, but now it's looking like a man almost. No, they ran zone. Froman on the outside. He beats one. Can he beat another? Has one person to beat coming out. No flags, I don't think.
He stepped out of bounds up here.
And the whistle, and Froman going to get called all the way back. Showed off the speed. And I heard some whistles, but didn't see any flags in the air. But they're going to say he stepped out of bounds after a gain of about 4 yards and would have been an 80.
It looks like they're giving him a first down.
Which is interesting. No, they're right. The ball's going to be placed around the 35. Correction there. That's going to be a gain of about 16 yards.
Very hard for us to see the far sideline.
Yeah, sitting here on the 30 currently. 5:29 on the clock. Would have been an 82-yard touchdown if he didn't step out. Nobody was going to catch up to him. And there you see Froman's burst of speed that we really don't see on a lot of the shorter routes, but he is not afraid to show that on that long play there from the Titans.
He must get that from his mother. That's my assumption.
Brad Froman, not big in the speed category in any of his athletic career. More of a physical player himself, but Ellie Froman, on the other hand, fast.
I've heard a lot of stories, athletic stories back in her day.
Froman's mother is definitely the more agile and athletic of the parents, so he definitely got it from that side of the family. Timeout by the Titans. We'll take another timeout here. This is TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, West Hancock Titan Sports, presented by LJ Insurance. We'll be right back.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
Welcome back to Jim Replinger Field. 1st and 10 for the Titans, and a long 82-yard touchdown play going to get called back here. 5:30 on the clock. Titans set up shotgun, trips left is the official call. It's going to be a gain of about 2 yards. Bring up 2nd and 8 there for the Titans. Love to run that screen pass.
Gain of a couple on the play.
2nd and 8 here for the Titans.
2nd and 8 for the Titans.
Ball going to be sitting on the 37-yard line for West Hancock. 4:57 on the clock. 2 wide receivers on either side here. Data and S back. They snap it, look back, over the middle of the field, now over top. Has Coltenberg, just can't quite get to it. Had an open receiver all the way to the end zone, just a little long, and Varner has struggled to connect on those deep routes so far this season, but Was so close there to Coltonberg, who's wearing number 23 today. Coltonberg on the season, he's got a total of, let me get his stats up here in a moment. Coltonberg with 111 reception yards so far this year, 25 attempts, 10 receptions on the season. Titans 3rd and 8. We'll see what they go here. A score here would put them up big time, especially since they get the ball in the 3rd quarter. Shotgun, drops back to pass, looking over on the left side, has Ethan Schmidt. He caught it at the 40 to the 30, and he's going to get caught up to now at the 20. Schmidt fighting for more yards all the way to the 15-yard line. 5 LVC Miners players on him, and Ethan Schmidt getting busy all the way to the 15, and that's their man that they need to find.
I don't know how. 51, it looks like L.J. Draper. He was sitting right there on that route. It looked to me as though he was going to knock that pass down.
I thought he did knock it down.
It snuck through, and Ethan just rumbled down to the 15-yard line.
That's a big play there from Ethan Schmidt. Over to Gooding. Could be
Cut
a holding call.
that.
He tries to get to the outside at the 5. He gets into the end zone. Are there any flags? There is one. We'll see what this call is going to be on. Could be a touchdown. Holding on the offense.
No.
It might be a defense because it looks like offsetting penalties.
I think there's only one flag down here.
I saw holding and a face mask, I thought.
There was no flag. Are you saying play side right here on the receipt?
Yeah, play side right here.
Yeah, no. There was no holding. Looks like the back official called.
It should be against the Miners. I think it's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask against the defense. That is
4-11. That penalty is going to be declined, and a touchdown for Nolan Gooding. His 6th touchdown reception on the year. He has 239 yards coming into this game. Ethan Schmidt, big man on that play, gets him all the way to the 15, and one play finds the end zone. Now going for 2. They give it up the middle here. Can they find their way in, fighting for more, and dragged down by number 53, Brody Thumb on the tackle. Tried to get number 44, Malachi McCune, into the end zone. Ethan Schmidt, it was 3rd down. Titans had nothing, it seemed, and the pass seemed to get deflected as well, but Ethan Schmidt, for his 8th reception of the year, I believe, now with 90 yards receptions total on 8 receptions. He's averaging over 10 receiving yards per reception. And
he did not make it easy on the defenders either.
No,
he did not go down easy.
He was not going down easy at all. And really, so far, if I had to label somebody, I'll wait until the end of the first half to make that claim. But 14-0 is the official call. Here, Titans with the lead. Again, the only team the Titans beat last season was the LVC Miners. The Miners so far this year 0-5 as well. Have had a somewhat tough schedule, though, to start off the year, starting off against Macomb, who is a very tough matchup. Then Rova, then Bureau Valley, Knoxville, and Illini West have been all 5 matchups. Haven't scored over 18, but haven't allowed less than 34. Majority of teams scoring 48 points average. Back here for this kickoff for the Titans. And shout out to Dylan McMillan in the comment section. Shouting out old high school mate of mine, not same class. An onside kick here from the Titans. This isn't going to go 10 yards, so it'll be LVC ball. And there was an LVC player on the field, but he seems to be getting up and all right. But shout out to Dylan McMillan in the comment section. Well, thanks for shouting us out as well. Happy you enjoy this commentary and of course, the Brad Froman slander. 1st and 10 for the Miners. Ball's going to be placed on the 47-yard line.
the Miners will take over at the 48.
4:11 on the clock, so plenty of time here for LVC.
Really trying to surprise the Miners with that onside kick. I probably would have preferred to kick it, kickoff down to the, instead of going for the onside kick.
1st and 10, ball on the 49-yard line, 48-yard line. Drops back to pass, looks over to the right side, has an open receiver, and that should be a flag against Froman, but nobody saw it. Kind of grabbed the shoulder pads of number 30, Ethan Shields. He got him right up on the horse collar, but no flag, and it wasn't really a catchable ball either, but close call there. Oops. 2nd and 10. I thought Shields was going to cut outside out of the numbers, and that was his intentional plan. I just thought he was going to run more of a direct 5-yard up the field and straight out. But instead he tries to get the corner. Can't quite come down. 4:02 on the clock, 2nd and 10. Ball on the 48, 3 backs here for LVC. 1 wide receiver each side. They fake the pitch, try to go out. Froman there covering, but they have an open receiver over top. Let's see, great catch. Froman almost came down with it. Would have been a great catch, but at number 42, Dempsey Whitsitt upset. He was open on the seam. I just don't think that Jackson Gibney saw him cutting up the middle of the field.
Yeah, the quarterback had his eyes on the outside receiver, and that's where he was going to throw it.
And did have some bodies in front of him that could be blocking his view there as well, but had a 50-50. I thought it was going to be a reception. Looked like a beautiful ball, but Froman gets his hands in the way, stops it from coming down.
He looked back, tracking the ball, and it looked like he was running the route right alongside the wide receiver.
And a flag, and this might be a delay of game. Quick flag before anything. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Let's see who this is on. Well, they're not going to give us a player specifically, I should say, so we won't find out who it's on. Not sure who the player is. I think it might be Coltenberg from the way he was motioning over at him and from the way Coltenberg is raising his arms. Not sure what it was, and it's going to be against Jess Scott is the player. Not sure what it is, and Coach Dorothy trying to calm him down. 15-yard penalty against the Titans, and I'll bring up a 1st and 10 here for the Miners. Titans last time they were in this position had a Lost Boy Digital 1st down all the way to Ethan Schmidt. They give the pitch, have some backs, but Titans try to get to the backside. Great run there, I believe, from Shields. I think it was either Cole Furtado or not sure who the number is, or no, it was number 51 for the Titans. That's Braden Hall. Kind of got to the backside. Again, some of the numbers have changed here for the Titans. From what I know, 3 of them at least have different numbers here today because of their National Guard jerseys. But I believe that was Hall kind of coming around the backside and making the tackle there. 2nd and 6 to go. Ball on the 29, 3:10 on the clock. Has an open gap at the middle. Tripped up. He's going to be stopped around the line of scrimmage. This is going to be a close call here. It'll either be 3rd and inches or 1st and 10. Looks like they're going to give him the 1st down. No, they're calling him short by a yard. 3rd and 1 to go here on the carry from number 27, Bryson Ferguson. 3rd and 1, ball on the 29. Let's see what they go with here. Jackson Gibney, the quarterback for the Miners. Set up in shotgun. 2 wide receivers each side. The running back is Dempsey Whitsitt. They keep it. Quarterback keeper, I thought. No, he faked me out too. Up the middle to Whitsitt. He only gets about 3 yards, but it's going to be a 1st down for the Miners around the 20-yard line exactly. And I'll bring up 1st and 10 here for LVC. First and 10. The run play up the middle gets them the 1st. Not much more, but they got what they needed. Now set up in good field position. Drops back to pass. Has to roll outside. He tries to go over top. Has Varner on defense, and there's a flag on the field. This could be defensive pass interference is going to be the call here against the Titans, and this will be, I believe, a half the distance to the goal since they're at the 20-yard line. So this, I believe, should get them to the 10, if I am correct. Pass interference is the call against the Titans. I believe it was either Froman or against Varner, who is running with the deep man. 1:57 on the clock here. Miners able to take their time. Plenty of it left in the first half. 14-0 here for the Titans so far. Again, their only win last season was against the LVC Miners, and I believe a timeout going to be called. This might be by the officials and not even by a team, because it seems like discussion going on. Timeout Titans is who they're going to charge a timeout to. We'll take a timeout as well with 1:57 left as the TSSR Game Time line presented by MDH, West Hancock Titan Sports, presented by LJ Insurance. We'll be right back.
Hey, Frank. Hey, Jeff. How's the farm?
Good, thanks.
Nice choice. Let's get you loaded up.
No matter where you are or what you grow, make sure you start with Dyna-Grow Seed. For local farm expertise and local seed options, no other seed brand gets you closer to the results you want.
Welcome back to Hamilton, Illinois. 1:57 on the clock here. 14-0 is the score. Titans with the lead. It's 1st and goal right on the 10. They were at the 20, so it was a half a distance to the goal. It's only a 15-yard penalty when you're at the 30 or behind. They'll reverse this one to the other side. Titans got some players there, but cuts it up the middle at the right time. But then team tackled by Coltenberg and a couple other Titan defenders in Greer and Gooding. And Ferguson gets a gain of none, I believe, is going to be the official call here. And they'll be 2nd and 10, 1:30 on the clock. And if you're the Miners here in this situation, don't really want to risk giving the Titans the ball back for a chance to score. But if you leave 30 seconds on the clock, you might get lucky enough to not have them drive the field. But again, the Titans get the ball in the 3rd quarter. So the Miners trying to, again, if you have the option to score, take the option to score. But they're not.
There is a fumble on the ground right now.
And while I'm talking mid-sentence, my story is not going to happen.
Cole Furtado is coming away with the football here and about knocks one of the coaches on the ground.
I believe that's at least the 2nd fumble recovery for Cole Furtado. He had 2 or 1 last game, so it's 2 in the last couple of weeks. And now the Titans have 1:08 on the clock, only 1 timeout to work with, but have 1:08 on the clock to drive the field, score, and then get the ball in the second half. Great defensive play there from Cole Furtado and the Titans.
Well, I'm looking for Gooding or Froman.
Both have showed a lot of speed, and you can't count out Ethan Schmidt so far.
Yeah, we're going to put him to sleep with a couple passes outside, and then we're going to run Schmidt down the seam.
That's your prediction. I don't mind that. Not a bad look there. Ball is going to be on the 13, the worst field position so far for the Titans. Shotgun. Trips right. Drop back to pass. It's going to be a fake screen pass. And immediately hit. This is going to be a fumble, a flag. And, oh, my, this might. Varner hurt. He's getting up. But that's a tough hit to take.
I'm trying to decide if they've called that is that a fumble I don't know.
There is a flag on the field, so it could very easily be a fumble. We'll get a call here from the official. And roughing the passer, or it might be, I believe when the fists come together and you basically fist bump yourself, I believe that call is, no, because helmet to helmet is when you put your fist to your head.
That's targeting when you aim it at your helmet.
Yeah, when you put your fist on your head, that's targeting. But when it's fist to fist, I'm not sure what that call is. We'll get a look here. It's going to be a first down for the Titans. The penalty will get them the Lost Boy Digital first.
I don't think that's it.
Not sure what that call was. It was a roughing of some sort because his initial arm movement slashed down. And it's a 15-yard penalty, so it's some sort of roughing or personal foul. Looking over the middle, they find Froman. This is going to go to the end zone at the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. End zone, Froman. He busts into the end zone this time, and there is no calling this one back. He houses it on a 73-yard touchdown play right over the middle of the field, and the slant has been there. 50 seconds on the clock, and the Titans' 2-minute drill only takes them about 10 seconds. Froman just absolutely guts it up the middle of the field for the 6 points. And the Titans take a 20-0 lead after the great play by sophomore Hunter Froman. 2-point conversion here for the Titans, and Coach Dorothy is giving the two-point conversion play to Varner. And again, what a play by Froman. Caught it around the 45 or the 50. And he just turns on the Jets. Nobody was close to getting to him. Two-point conversion, trips right here for the Titans. They motion over Coltenberg. He comes back. Looking right. Over the middle of the field, they had Schmidt. He just didn't have his hands ready, and Coach Dorothy, and he's already talking to his player. Got to be ready for that one there. Had a two-point conversion all set, but didn't come down with it. And Froman, he finds the end zone on a big one. And he's going to be the kickoff man as well here. What a play by Froman and the Titans. They find the end zone. .51 seconds on the clock here for the Titans. I believe Sowers is set to return, or it could be Ferguson set to return here for the Miners.
The Junior Football League would like to let you know
we'll update the scoreboard for you here. 20-0, the lead for the Titans. It's going to be Coltenberg out to kick it away. They might be giving Froman a breather here. Have seen 3 different kickers for the Titans this year, and Coltenberg, Scott, and Froman. Coltenberg gets the onside kick. He landed on it. Titans ball at the 48. And Tucker Coltenberg has been the onside man here all season for the Titans. And I believe it's number 50, Luke Miller, just couldn't quite come up with it. And the Titans have 47 seconds to find the end zone one more time before the half. They could just run this one out.
With 50 seconds on the clock before half, you kick an onside kick. I'm thinking they're going to throw the ball here.
First and 10 here for the Titans. Ball on the 48. Brennan Grove not even a chance to return it. Drop back to pass, looking over to Schmidt over the middle of the field. He catches it at the 30 to the 25. He's fighting for more all the way to the 20-yard line. And Ethan Schmidt over the middle of the field has been dangerous, running really out of that tight end role. That's a Lost Boy Digital first down. The Titans with 3 Cole Morgan Hauling touchdowns here today. Froman with the Cole Morgan Hauling touchdown. Just a play before then for the Titans. Quick out to Froman. Has the one-on-one. Stiff arm jab. Gets the first to the 10 and tackled, but not before getting the Lost Boy Digital first. Timeout by the Titans. 25 seconds on the clock. They got some time to go for this. Timeout by the Titans. That's their last of the first half. Ball on the 10. They got 4 chances with 25 seconds on the clock. You got a lot of chances here to find the end zone.
Well, with a pass offense like this, any missed pass, of course, or drop pass is going to stop the clock. So I think every throw needs to be in or pretty much in the end zone or near the end zone.
Either in the end zone or close to the out-of-bounds markers or the line, because 25 seconds seems like a lot of time, but it can take the team a lot to set the ball, to get ready, get the play. Now, Coach Dorothy, we have seen a couple times this year, Coach Dorothy draw up 2 or 3 plays in repetition for them to just call without him telling them, unless he wants to audible out of it, I would say. But we have seen him give them 2 or 3 plays in a row to not even look over for him so they can run a no huddle, which he could be doing here as well. But 25 seconds on the clock again. Varner's got to be smart here. Nothing risky on this 1st and 9, but you also, if you don't have anything soon, throw it out of the end zone. If he thinks he can get it with his legs, I would trust him if I'm Coach Dorothy, but really here you got to be looking at the end zone. Got trips right for the Titans. 1st and 9. 1st and goal, ball at the 9, I should say. Drops back, looking over for Froman on the one-on-one, and that's no good. And Varner gets hit, but no late hit there. 2nd and 10. That only took 3 seconds off the clock. Have 3 more plays to work with here for the Titans. Second and 9. Trips right. Shotgun. Froman, the lone receiver, over on the far side of the field. Looking at Froman again. He's open and drops his defender down. An end zone touchdown. Cole Morgan Hauling touchdown for the Titans. And Froman finds it 2 drives in a row to make it a 26-0 game. Froman showing off his speed in there. Just a nice, easy pitch and catch touchdown for the Titans. Going here for the 2-point conversion. We'll see what they run out of this. Only 1 converted 2-point conversion so far. See what they run here. They give it over to Gooding again. He jukes inside, and that's what they scored on the first time. They scored it here again, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 28-0 the score here. Titans with the lead, and Froman, he's got 5 touchdown receptions on the year now. Only had 3 before this game. Has shown off the speed a couple of times. He had led the team by a large margin in reception yards at 401 reception yards, and now he's going to be sitting around 500 yards on the season. Just racking them up, finding the end zone on nearly a 70-yard play. The Titans are in business here.
Very deflating going into half if you're the Miners there.
Especially since the Titans get the ball.
Correct. They come out of halftime, and they got a kickoff to the Titans.
Varner, he's crossed 1,000 passing yards on the season now with that one.
Now, that's 2 onside in a row for the Titans. If you're a Miner here, you need to be very prepared to see what the Titans are going to do with this kickoff.
17 seconds. If the Titans do get it, I wouldn't be surprised if they just... That was kind of an interesting thing there. Chase Hartwig, the defensive or special teams coordinator, I think defensive coordinator, and there's a nice tackle from Froman as well as number 30. That's Ryder Duffy on the tackle. It was interesting to see right below us. Don't know if you guys could see it as well. Chase Hartwig, I believe the defensive coordinator for the Titans, was running down the sideline at the 30, pointing down for Coltonberg, it seemed for him to kick it right there, and Coltonberg looked at it, kicked it right there, and I don't know if he saw something in the defense that he really liked.
Normally with a special team setup, there's a void right there.
There's a weakness, yeah.
So you kind of hope for a crazy bounce or mishandled.
Great job from Coltonberg to recognize Chase Hartwig, Coach Hartwig, I should say, right there. Drop back to pass, trying to find the end zone one last time. And
this will probably end the half with 7 seconds.
That's a team tackle there from Ryan Horn and Jess Scott. I believe Jess Scott's going to get that one, and that's going to end the first half of play. Titans up 28-0 going into the half, getting the ball in the third quarter. And at first I was going to say Ethan Schmidt has really kind of been the sneaky player of the half so far. Defensively, he was playing really well, and offensively, he was catching what he needed to catch, what he was getting thrown, I should say, and really had some great yardage. But there at the last 2 minutes of that quarter, or that quarter, yes, but the half, Froman really kind of took control.
I'm gonna hold out my vote till the rest of the game is over.
Till the rest of the game, okay.
It's almost a three-headed monster right now. We started out early with Gooding.
Did start with Gooding early, yes.
You know, he is. I realize it's only a 2-point conversion, but those are big. Because if you don't make it, that's 4 points right there. We've made 2 of those, and he caught a couple early passes, and
has one touchdown as well.
Yeah, and then you got Ethan and you got Hunter. Exactly what they're looking for. Take their 3 athletes, get them the ball, let them make plays. So, but yeah, that last big run by Hunter, showing his speed and getting in the end zone, kind of separate him a little bit. But let's see what the second half.
Still got a second half ahead of us. Titans up 28-0. This looks eerily similar to last season's game as well. The Miners didn't quite score until the last couple of minutes in the game, in the fourth quarter, I should say. But not entirely out of reach, 28-0. You just got to get some sort of momentum on offense. They average around 12 points a game on the season and have, like the Titans, have played a very tough schedule so far. We'll get a quick review of the schedule here for the Miners. Again, started off against Macomb week 1, who is, I believe, getting ranked in their division and in the state. They lost that one 49-8. Then played Rova in their closest matchup so far, 34-14. Bureau Valley, who's been tough so far this season, and the final opponent for the Titans this year, and lost that one 46-16. Played against the Knoxville Blue Bullets, who had a great year last year and a solid team as well. They dropped that game 49-18, and last week played against the Illini West Chargers and lost that one 50-16, their most points allowed on the season. The remaining schedule after this one, they'll take on Meridian come the 11th of October, then against a very, very good Farmington Farmers team. That one's going to be at home, but Farmington only about 15, 20 minutes away from LVC. And then Elmwood Brimfield, the final game of the year, who has been very solid as well so far this season. The Titans schedule so far this year, we'll cover it real quick. First week matchup, dropped to 58-28, lost to Mackinac, or DMAC I should say, and then face off against another great Farmington team, 60-28, I should say the same Farmington team. Elmwood Brimfield lost that one 71-36. Then Macomb 48-22. Then Stark County 39-14 in their lowest scoring game of the year. They'll face off against the Knoxville Blue Bullets away next week. Then Illini West here at Hamilton for their senior night, and then Bureau Valley away to cap off the year. And really what I've noticed so far this season is offense has not been the problem for the Titans. It's really been specifically that run defense for the Titans that has struggled on the year so far. But today they've been doing very well.
They've done very well. They've had a couple issues containing the outside a couple times, but when they contain and stretch that offensive run play out, they do a great job of team tackling. In the offseason, coach is just going to work on, some strength and conditioning and some tackling drills. So hopefully a lot of these returners come back next year and have lifted weights in the offseason.
And I will say that's something that Coach Dorothy has implemented strongly is the weight session, but also it's really hard to get initially a good team, especially when they're young, just because a lot of kids are new at playing football. Something that we saw at DMAC at our first game of the year is during halftime, they had a lot of their different age groups come out. I believe they called them the Young Chiefs. That's their mascot is the Chiefs. But they came out in every age range from 6 to 14 came out and played on the field during halftime. And that's really something we haven't seen in recent history here for the Titans, is starting them with football young. And, of course, there's a lot of skepticism around football. And it is a dangerous game in some aspects, but it's also a very good thing to learn. It builds a lot of character development as well, I believe. But now Coach Dorothy has started a younger age football league for the local area for the Titans, and I think that's really going to help them come in about 5-6 years. It's going to take time.
It's not a short process. It takes time.
And so during that time period, you really need to pour into that and develop it as you go along. But again, it's going to take about 6-7 years for you to see the changes that it's going to make. Some stats over the season so far for teams facing off against the Titans. The Titans have only allowed 6 touchdown passes so far this year and 409 passing yards so far this year before this game. 42 pass completions as well. We'll compare that to the rushing stats that the Titans have allowed. The Titans have allowed 42 passes, and there's been 180 rushing attempts against the Titans. The Titans have only allowed 409 passing yards, but have allowed 1,570 rushing yards. Now, again, a lot more rushing attempts than passing attempts as well. The Titans have given up 29 rushing touchdowns so far this year compared to only 6 passing touchdowns this season. And again, that also comes from the amount of times that they run it instead of passing it. Here we've seen about a 50-50 between LVC, I would say. They've shown the run, and I think they've done better with the run. They've had some open looks on the pass, just can't quite connect so far. The Titans have in total allowed 2,000 yards in total for opposing teams so far this season. Titans, their offensive stats so far this year, they're averaging 120 rushing yards per game. They're averaging 197 passing yards per game as well. Their total yardage is 1,581 yards so far this season. That's 500 short of what they've allowed their opponents to score. Yardage, again, not as important as points allowed per game, obviously. We're 8 minutes, 56 seconds away from the second half of play. They'll add about 3 minutes of that, so say about 11 minutes left until we get back for the second half of play. And again, my color, John Little, holding off on his player to look out for. Is there a player to look out for that you've seen? Is it one of those 3 players you named earlier in Gooding, Froman, and Schmidt, or is it somebody else? We've seen some good play defensively from Ryan Horn, from Cole Furtado as well, and Chandler Dayton. Is that somebody we're going to see get a lot more action with a 28-point lead? Sometimes they try to run up the score, try to get to that contiguous clock, or will we see more out of the run game with Dayton, you might think?
Well, I mean, I think the Titans are going to stick to what they know, which is throwing the ball. We might not see, the longer pass.
Might see more options.
Yeah, we're going to probably see more of the shorter pass, keep the clock running, you hope, and, just matriculate the ball down the field, as they would say. Of course, trying to figure out a player to look out for in the second half. Obviously, the sexy part is the offensive side. So you're looking for the Hunter Froman plays. I don't know if we're going to see those 70 or 80-yard passes unless one of those athletes just break loose, of course.
And we really haven't seen anything over the top. We've seen a lot of the slant routes over the middle that have turned into long plays, but we haven't seen those kind of hitch routes that they love to run with Gooding really turn into anything. Had a great look at Coltonberg for the end zone on a 70-yard touchdown on a hitch route, but couldn't quite connect. And I really think that's something that Varner kind of needs to develop for this Titan team, because he has it every now and then. He just gets a little long on those passes every now and then as well.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how Coach Dorothy coaches the second half with a lead.
Yes.
Normally he comes out of half and he doesn't have the lead. So we'll see if he runs the ball a little bit more in the second half to keep the clock running. Or maybe he'll sneak a couple plays in where he can work on some of those 9 routes where he might be able to, hone in on that pass, so he's not overthrowing his receivers.
Yep. over 1,000 passing yards this season for Bryce Varner, coming in to replace Gavin Grothouse, who was the quarterback last season for the West Hancock Titans. Moved in from that slot receiver position over to quarterback, and he's been showing some good looks in a couple of games. At first, we saw him make a lot of mistakes with his interception control, but he's really seemed to, over the last couple of weeks, kind of control what passes he is making. There's been a lot of tight passes here today, though, putting it in pockets. Ethan Schmidt over the middle of the field. We saw a slant route by Gooding over on the near side around the 35. That was right in the window, and that's something I've really seen him develop. His passes, of course, over time are getting a lot better.
Yeah, I know last week what sticks out to me last week was some of those deeper routes, the 15, 20-yard routes. The ball was sailing on him a lot. You know, it was high. And I don't know if that has something to do with his arm angle, which but tonight what I have noticed about, especially that early pass where it's tight coverage, he throws that slant pass to Gooding early, just right in stride, right in his hands. Same thing, he threaded the needle here between the linebacker and the cornerback to get, I believe it was Ethan Schmidt down the seam.
And he did that with Froman, too, on his touchdown play.
Yes, he did. And then he showed a little touch here at the end of the second quarter, throwing that little lob pass, taking advantage of Hunter's height, but he'd already beat his defender. So,
and again, something we saw from Stark County, they were playing a lot of over-top coverage there, too. I think they had one or two safeties a lot of the time while running two linebackers close to the middle. But at the end of the game, when we were commentating, it was close, 2 minutes left in the game maybe. We saw a beautiful pass from Varner over tight to the corner, lob to Gooding, and you really couldn't place it anywhere. We were saying you need to put the ball where only your receiver can get it, and although that might be a hard catch, that's something that you kind of have to do. And there in that game against Stark County, we saw him take a chance, put it in a place only Varner could get it, then did it again with the 2-point conversion. And I really think he's just getting comfortable.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. I'm sure it takes several games.
Yeah, it's not just because practice is completely different. And something I would say for anybody who hasn't thrown a football with pads on before, it is 100 times different than throwing a pass without pads on. Like, there's something there kind of restricting your shoulder motion, and that takes a little bit getting used to. I'm not saying that's like a really big excuse, but there's just little things like that you would never really think of when you have the helmet on. Your peripheral vision kind of gets cut off a little bit. It's a little claustrophobic. You got some masks, and you feel like your vision has kind of shrunk, but that's something you got to get used to as well. And, all these different things, throwing when it's wet, trying to find your receiver but not trying to take too long. It's all these things that I think he's kind of developed on.
Well, and of course, they come out. They have quarterback pads.
Yes.
But what's hard in high school a lot of times is, your 11 athletes are probably playing offense and defense. And so what you've got is you got a quarterback who also needs to go back and play defense, and he doesn't want to be stuck with, say, quarterback pads on trying to hit a guy.
Which have different shoulder.
Little different padding in that
Yes.
right arm, typically, if you're a right-handed quarterback. So, he's probably not wearing quarterback pads, but fortunately he's not wearing fullback pads or a neck collar.
Yes.
But it is different. And
it's something to adjust to that he probably hasn't had to deal with before. That's all for our halftime assessment. We got about 6 minutes before we come back for the third quarter. This is Luke Little, John Little on the color, Emily Hagee rocking the camera as normal. We're going to head to a halftime break and be back for the second half of action here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. West Hancock Titan Sports, presented by LJ Insurance. 28-0 the lead for the Titans.
And welcome back. I'm here with Emily Alden now. And Emily, patient advocate, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
That sounds like a title that encompasses a whole lot. Let's first put it in simple words if you can, and then we'll kind of go in depth with it a little bit.
Yes, as the patient advocate, there is a lot to do in the role, but it's a fantastic opportunity. So generally speaking, I will help patients. I will talk about the service that they have here and just in general measure the patient experience for the entire organization.
Well, speaking of knowing the entire organization, kind of the theme has been everybody knows everybody at MDH because you're a smaller rural hospital, even though MDH offers a lot. You literally have to probably know everybody or most everybody because you need to know what each thing's going to happen if that patient's dealing with it.
Yes, that's very true. When I first stepped into the role about a year ago, it was really an interesting and fantastic opportunity to get to know all of the departments, how they work together and individually, and just to see the well-oiled machine.
Well, patient care, obviously, at a hospital is key. You're a key part of that. What is it about patient care at MDH that makes MDH special?
Service excellence internally to provide the best patient care is top of mind here for all of our staff across every single level, every single department, and the organization as a whole. It's a big focus. So we make sure that we take care of our patients and that way they have the best experience possible. We're very open to feedback. We always want to improve in areas that we can improve. So we always have open ears. We always appreciate the feedback that we receive.
You are working with all departments. And when a patient comes in, let's say they come into the ER and then they come to ICU and then they go to the floor, your job kind of is to let the patients know what you can do, right? Or what you offer, or what they can do. Am I missing that? Is that correct?
Yes, actually, our case management department is instrumental with that side of things. Every once in a while, I'll step in and just check in on patients, see how their experience overall is going, to collect that feedback and see if we can implement any changes to make it even better.
So you deal with patients in so many different departments, and really they can go all the way from getting here in the ER to physical therapy on the way out, right?
Yes, absolutely. So MDH has a lot to offer our patients. So while you're here, if you're just running in for some outpatient tests, whether it's lab work or visiting our radiology department, convenience clinic, visiting your primary care provider over at MDH Family Clinic, emergency room, labor and delivery. There are so many different departments that work so well together, and our team is a family. The organization in itself is a family, and so everybody does a great job at trying to understand what departments do that aren't their own, so that way we can make it a seamless experience for our patients.
Well, and then as a patient advocate, right, you just kind of ball all that together and look at it, right, and then see, as patient A comes through, what can we do to make patient B, who might follow them, a little bit better next time?
Absolutely.
So as you do that, what kind of things do you look for? I mean, what I would imagine with MDH, as it continues to improve, you start looking for smaller things, right? So the obvious things are maybe gone, so then you start looking at little things to make the sometimes the worst experience of their life, right, a little bit better as they work through.
Yes, most definitely. So you never know what kind of day somebody's having when they walk through our doors, and you don't know what they're necessarily here for. So it's important to keep an open mind and take a look at what can we ask them that's specific to their experience. Why are they here? Comfort them and make sure that we ask the right questions so that we can purposefully pull out information that we can work on.
Yeah, and I think we've talked a lot about different things from different people. You're, besides Bill, the CEO, you're the one person that kind of helps with, like, it gets your hands in a little bit of everything as far as the patient is concerned. Everybody's talked about it being a family, and you've even mentioned it being a family. Does the fact that everybody knows everybody as far as employees, from the CEO down to the CNAs, does that kind of make your job a little bit easier?
Absolutely. When you're a family, you care about each other, and we are all here for one purpose, and that is to provide the best experience for our patients that we possibly can. So when you are a tight-knit family, it's just great to be, we're a community, a family, a community, and we are here to serve our patients. And when everybody has that one purpose, it's a great feeling.
Well, Emily, I appreciate you stopping and talking to us, and keep fighting for the patients.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
We'll be back after this.
Welcome back to Jim Replinger Field here in Hamilton, Illinois. Just got the kickoff here to start the second half of play. Froman got about 10 yards on the return up to around the 35-yard line. That's where the Titans will start their first drive here of the second half. Titans will take over first and 10. I was looking at some stats over halftime. Titans 3.2 turnovers per game so far here today, and I I don't believe they have any except for the muffed punt would be the one you would count, yes. So 1 turnover technically here today, none from the offense, and 1 fumble recovery from the defense as well. They pitch this one up to Tucker Coltenberg. He's got some blocks. He's got one to beat. He's going to go 40, 30 on the first play of the second half. Coltenberg hustles to the end zone, finds it, and gives the Titans 6 more. Went over to the left side and cuts it back to the right as he's running down the field, and Coltenberg finds the end zone to make it a 34-0 lead for the West Hancock Titans, and they're just putting it on them now after that one. We were saying they might run it a little bit more. They run it there, but they find the end zone on 1 play. That's something we saw from Stark County last game. Very first drive of the game for Stark County. Found the end zone on an 80-yard run. There we see it from the Titans on a 70-yard run to start the second half. Two-point conversion. They're running the same thing with Gooding. He can't fight to the end zone here. They get about 4 hands on him. They tried running the play that they've ran twice that they've scored the 2-point conversion on. Cannot get it. Coltenberg, his first rushing touchdown officially of the season. And that one's going to get him over 100 yards rushing on the year. He's got no touchdown receptions either, according to our stat sheet. His first touchdown of the season.
We have another player that's kind of entered the conversation for player of the game.
Player of the game, yeah. If he gets a couple more, might be up there as well. Coltenberg, number 23 for the Titans, and you got to think that you wouldn't expect the onside kick here, and maybe that's why they would go for the onside kick, but you can't expect the onside kick here up 34-0.
Well, it looks like Hunter grabbed the tee here, so I'm wondering if we are going to see
Froman.
a kickoff here.
Are going to see a kickoff from Froman, and Coltenberg has seemed to be the onside kick specialist for the Titans this year, and Froman has seemed to be the deep man.
Hunter Froman ready to kick for the Titans.
Froman set to kick off here for the Titans. I believe Brendan Grove is the return man. That one's a low boom kick to the 20 to around the 15. Picked up, I believe this actually is Ferguson. Gets to the 30, spins out of a tackle, and tackled around the 32 is where he'll go down, and the Miners will start their first drive of this second half. Good return there from LVC. In some collegiate football news, it happened last week. This is kind of old news if you're from around the McDonough District or McDonough County area or West Hancock area. The Western Illinois University Fighting Leathernecks got their first win in over 2 seasons, 1,064 days it took them to get their win against D2 McKendree. They face off tomorrow against Charleston Southern University, but got their first win in over 2 seasons
I can tell you
week.
my wife was very happy. Of course, she's a Leatherneck alum like myself.
A nice run there from the Miners, still fighting for it.
I will tell you, the Miner running backs, they give 125% effort. They do not go down easy.
That's Shields on the carry.
Especially their fullback, number 30. Tough runner.
11:05 on the clock, 34-0. Titans score. And again, got to be at the game for the Leathernecks there last week, and they were all ecstatic. And I got a chance to interview a couple of the players afterwards, and they were happy with the win, but they were like, we gotta win more than one this season. So they're facing off against
a win is a win.
A win is a win. Big South OVC opponent in Charleston Southern come tomorrow. But we're here now in Hamilton, Illinois, Jim Replinger Field for the Titans against the Miners. And the Miners as well trying to get their first win in a couple of seasons. Titans,
another tough run here. So
and not much to gain, but a lot of effort put out on that one.
Positive yards for the Miners. I mean, they've got a 3rd and 3 or a 3rd. It's one of those, looks like a short 3, long 2.
Could possibly 4 down.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're down
here.
34-0. I know you don't want to give Titans a short field, but you also need to keep your offense on the field too. So see what the Miners come out with here. Here's that
Three back
set.
All offset. And they pitch it to Shields. Shields tries to fight out of one. He'll get the first down off a tough carry. And again, I'd like to say Cole Morgan Hauling, our sponsor for the West Hancock Titans touchdowns this year. Cole Morgan Hauling, touchdown from Tucker Coltzenberg there to end the drive for the Titans on one play. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Miners here. 9:38 on the clock. Ball on the 42-yard line. Taking their time, slow, methodical play here. Again, it is military night here for the Titans. That's where they're wearing the green National Guard jerseys. They hand this one off to Shields. He goes backwards at first, and a great tackle there. I believe that's Colsenberg. He's getting in there, going at the ankles.
Very nice play. They ended up stretching that out, and this fullback, of course, you get him running perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. You go low, it's pretty easy to get him down. They get ahead of steam going straight forward. That's where they're dangerous.
And Colsenberg, I'd hate to sell him short here, but probably around 5'7", 5'8". There, going against a much taller Shields. And
much bigger Shields.
Leverage is not in his favor there, so just goes for the ankles, the smart place to go for. Gets the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd and 13 here. Miners with the 3-back option here. One wide receiver each side. They pitch it back to Ferguson. Scott in the backfield gets to the shoulder pads, but Shields breaks a couple. Gains about 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 9, a tough 3rd and 9 here for the Miners. Number 77 for the West Hancock Titans. That's Wesley Hester checks into the game.
Scott had great pursuit from behind.
3rd and 9 here.
This is a little tougher down and distance for the Miners. Not a lot of success throwing the ball in the first half. Come out here and really kind of controlled the ball. Nice, slow, methodical offense.
Titans late sub engage Carlton. They give it back to Shields again, and Carlton gets him, makes the initial hit after the gain of about 4 yards, and talk about getting action right away. Right on the field, immediately gets hit. Wasn't even set on the line.
I don't know if he even got his chin straps snapped on.
He didn't.
Not,
I think he actually just snapped them. He is now currently snapping his chin straps.
He is definitely pulling them tighter after that collision.
4th and about 7 to go.
I mean, if you're Miners, I believe this is the right call here.
It is, yeah.
You know, you've got to keep the ball. Give your defense. They're trying to give their defense a rest here.
But that's also a tough thing in high school because a lot of your offensive players are defensive players. So the idea of giving your defensive a rest is kind of a tough one. Get some pressure, just lobs this one up for a 50-50 ball, and that's a pass interference on Nolan Gooding, and he ought to know that's coming his way. Just ran right in.
Probably should have tried to find the ball, but he noticed the defender was wide open. He's just trying to get back there to the defender.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
More importantly, a first down.
It would have been, if it was completed, it would have been about 20 yards completion, but a first down for the Miners off the pass interference against Gooding, and he never turned around to look at the ball, which is the first thing, and then ran right into the receiver, which is an automatic obvious penalty. I believe Caden Greer was also over there. He was looking at the ball ready to make the play, but Gooding got there first. 7 minutes on the clock here in the third quarter. Titans up 34-0. Interesting set here.
Very tight set.
This time they run it to Shields, and another great tackle. I believe that's either Greer. It is Greer on the tackle. Last time we saw them run out of that set with a offset tight end fullback and one running back, we saw them have a quarterback keeper and sweep it to the other side, and it resulted in a sack, I do believe. But that time they go with everybody else and run it to the left side, or in the camera angle, the near side of the field. 6:16 on the clock.
Here's this bunch set again.
Same thing. Fullback offset. They give it to Shields. It's the same exact play. They get some blockers this time. Try to getting it out. He can't. Varner makes the tackle. That's going to be around the 18, 16-yard line. It's a great run there from Shields, running it hard right now. First and 10 for the Miners.
That's what you call giving it to the fullback and just battering ram. Tough yards.
Shout out to Andrew Cochran in the comment section, shouting out, saying, "Let's go Titans, love the uniforms." Andrew Cochran is currently serving our U.S. military.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
Much better looking man with a buzzed haircut than that long stuff he had in high school.
Oh, I would agree with that. Andrew Cochran
Yes.
buzz does look very nice.
Congratulations on his recent marriage.
Recent marriage again. I got to say that a couple weeks ago, I believe in week 1. But I believe that's a delay of game. I'm fairly sure.
And one more thing for Andrew. I've never met his wife, but I can guarantee you he married way up. He married way up over his head. So congratulations to him.
And these are the type of things that we had a golf outing early this morning. We'll wait till this play to make that story. A nice run here from LVC.
We got a first quarterback keeper for a bit. Nice positive yards for the Miners.
We're going to bring up second and about 6 to go. But beautiful weather here today. A big rainstorm came through early in the morning around 5 a.m. to nearly
7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, about 8 o'clock time, I would say. But the ground soaked it up. It was very dry, but a beautiful night here in Hamilton, Illinois. About 70 degrees, 65 degrees. A low snap, quarterback keeper. He tries to get out. He can't. Great sack from Tucker Coltenberg, and he's trying to make a name for himself here in this game.
Telling you, after that run, nice defensive play there. He had that really nice tackle on the fullback.
He
stretch
did.
that to the left side of the formation, and
4:33 on the clock, and the Titans make it 3rd and 14.
That was the first on this possession for the Miners. That was the first real bad negative play offensively for them. It's really set them back now. They've got a 3rd and looks like 14.
That's going to be a loss of 7 yards. Drops back to pass, looking over. Some pressure again. He's going to throw it. Has an open man, 50-50, and no flags in the air. A little bit of contact from Gooding, but good defense. That'll make it 4th and 14 on the 23-yard line. Was looking for the end zone, had a man, just couldn't quite connect.
He did a great job of giving himself space and room to see downfield. He had some pressure in his face, some quick feet, and moved out to the left outside the pocket.
4th and long here for the Miners.
This would be a tough one here. They got fourth down and 14 yards to go. If you're the Titans, you're looking for some sort of pass play here, of course.
Yeah, prevent defense here from the Titans. Have 2 deep safeties, dropping back into zone coverage.
Pressure in his face right away.
That is not going to be a fumble since it was a forward pitch. If it was behind him, it would have been a fumble. But since it was forward, it will not be a fumble. But the Titans will get the ball no matter what. On the 23, 1st and 10. 3:53 on the clock. But again, finally, congratulations to Andrew Cochran on his recent marriage over the summer. I believe that was July 13th, so getting close to 3 months now on that one. But congratulations and thank you, Andrew Cochran, for your service to our country. 3:53 on the clock. And I should say thank you to everybody listening who knows or is currently or was formerly in our military serving our country. Thank you very much for your sacrifice.
Thank you.
1st and 10 here. Drops back to pass. He's going to keep this one. Saw the gap over the middle. Tries to juke a couple people out. Gets a gain of about 6-7 yards and had an open gap right there on the line of scrimmage, but then quickly met by a couple LVC defenders, but not before gaining 6-7 yards. 2nd and 3 is going to be the official call here. 3:30 on the clock. Drops back to pass. He gets hit as he throws, but connects with Gooding. They're going to, looks like the FAR official is giving them the 1st down.
The pass
I believe this is going to be a Lost Boy Digital first down for the Titans.
I think it's going to be just short. He's not signaling. Oh,
They are-
nope, he is. Yeah.
They're saying just short.
Oh, hold on. No, he's signaling to move the chains.
Oh, that is it.
Yep.
An interesting move. I thought he would use his other arm to signal the first, but he's waving on the chain gang. You are correct. Lost Boy Digital first down for the Titans. Here we see the run from Chandler Daydant, just following his blocker, gets a gain of 7, and the Titans doing a good job moving the ball right now.
Very nice play on first down. I think any team, whatever division you're in, college, NFL, 7 yards on the first down, you'll take that every single time.
And again, gives you a plethora of options here on second and short. Great fake there. He's going to try to go over top to Coltenberg. Did he catch that? He did. He caught that one at the 25, and Coltenberg is trying to get that player of the game that
not
we were
even
talking
a
about.
name we brought up in the first half.
Not a name. It looks like he might have twisted his ankle, got a couple of wraps. I thought there was no way he was catching that. Tucker Coltenberg with the Lost Boy Digital first down, and he's sitting down on the sideline. I think he got that a little bit twisted, but oh my, Tucker Coltenberg.
I think he's got a cramp.
He does. He's stretching out the hammy right now, the quad. Pass over the middle of the field, and that one just sails over the head of Schmidt, and Varner knows that's on him. 2:21 on the clock, and, man, a lot of great plays, and that might be the best catch we've seen so far today from the Titans. Tucker back up. Tucker Coltenberg back up, moving around, jumping around as well. Going to be out for this play. They give the handoff to Manny Cedillo. He loses the ball, and it's turned over to the 16-yard line. Tackle made by Case Cole-Morgan.
There's a fumble on the play, and the Miners recover.
And Cedillo upset at himself after that one.
Miners, right place, right time.
2:14 on the clock here. 2:14 on the clock for the Miners. 34-0 to score, and that's just a big deflator there for the Titans after a great drive. Just kind of knocks them back down on earth. Trips right here.
I see Coltenberg's back in the game, but he's got a little hitch in his step here.
Low snap. They give the handoff, and a great wrap
nice.
up.
Oh,
and
whoa.
And a lateral over to the Miners, and
I think
the Titans have the ball. We'll see.
Oh, the official is marking it for the Miners here.
I think Schmidt might have ripped it out of his hands at the end, but an interesting play there from the Miners. Don't believe that one was drawn up.
I don't believe so. I got to hear the coach's reaction up here in the booth, and he's just trying a little extra hard there. He knows the score, and
can't really fault the player on that one too much in this scenario.
Obviously he's going to get coached up this week. Probably suggest not doing that again, but I understand.
Second and 16 here.
This is really tough for the Miners again. They're pushed back,
Tough field position. 2:05 on the clock. They hand it off up the middle and immediately met by some Titan defenders around the 5, and that's going to bring a 3rd and tough, and this is almost impossible 4-down territory if they don't get something here. 1:50 on the clock here for the Miners, and the Titans expecting the run there, it seems, clogging up the gaps. We'll see what they run out of here.
They do want to try to pick up some positive yards if they want to give their punter maybe a little room. I don't know if you would end up punting, but boy, this far back, you'd think you would.
They run the pitch. They give it to the outside. They got some room over there on the edge, but not enough. It was 3rd and 17. That one's going to be a gain of about 7 yards. Whistles blow. Number 42, Dempsey Whitsitt on the carry. And that'll bring up 4th and more manageable, but still 4th and 12. And it looks like they are going to bring on the punt unit here.
I think you have to. I know the score, but I think you almost have to.
From where they were tucked so far back at around the 5-yard line. Not much room for the punter. But you get it out to the 14, you got a lot more room to work with. Don't have to worry nearly as much as
I think we would have
the
seen
block.
maybe a different decision if it was 4th and 2 or 4th and 4 or something like that.
Yeah. Or really on 4th and 17, if they didn't get anything more, we might see something else as well. They snap it high, but the punt is low and away. See if the Titans go down on this one. Coach Dorothy saying, stay away. They'll start with possession on the 45-yard line and had a great drive, but then a fumble by the Titans. Their second turnover of the game. Gave it right back to LVC, but defense came out strong. Got a little lucky on a lateral play from the Miners. 24 seconds remaining here in the third. See how aggressive the Titans come out here. 1 quarter remaining. Titans again trying to get their first win of the season along with the Miners. The Miners the only win for the Titans last year. They're going to look over top. Deep man hits Gooding. He catches it right into his pocket and just glides into the end zone. Touchdown, one play. It's a 45-yard touchdown. And that one, like we said over half, Varner was struggling with those over-top plays, the hitch routes. That time, he lays it in the pocket right in the basket.
Right in stride.
Right in his bread basket. He gets it. Touchdown for Gooding. His second one of the game, I believe. And what a play there from the Titans.
We might have to get 3 or 4 plaques out if we're going to be handing out some awards here.
Yeah, the player of the game is going to be definitely a tough one to give away today. Gooding gets his 7th reception touchdown of the season, trying to come for the previous record set last season by his quarterback in reception touchdowns. Bryce Varner at 13. He's at 7. He's got 3 games after this one. Ball on the ground. It's going to say no good, and Varner slow to get up after that one. Got popped in the mouth, I think. 17 seconds remaining. 40-0, the lead here for the Titans. They get the big play to start it off, and the Titans have been all big plays here today. It has seemed to Hunter Froman, to Tucker Kolzenberg, to Nolan Gooding, to Ethan Schmidt, all the way. Some great plays so far.
There will be a replay.
What?
Not sure what the call is here.
I think they're going to give him a retry.
Not sure what it is. 17 seconds remaining. I didn't think there was anything on.
Blew it. One official blew it, thinking it was a forward pass, and it was just a lateral. So it's a live ball. He blew it dead.
I believe the call is an inadvertent whistle.
Inadvertent whistle is going to be the call, we believe. We have
officially, this is what we call a redo.
that is yes. Trips right, looking left to Gooding. Or that's Froman. Oh my. Mosses him over in the corner. Gets the 2-point conversion, and great ball placement, great hands. 42-0 the score here. Titans with the lead.
That was a really nice two-point conversion play.
Very nice 2-point conversion. We're going to head to a very quick break. Be right back for kickoff here on TSSR Game Time Live.
Whatever the day brings and Mother Nature provides is no match for what you'll have thanks to Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Welcome back. Jim Replinger Field. Titans just got a 2-point conversion. This is TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. West Hancock Titan Sports presented by LJ Insurance. 17 seconds remaining in the third. 42-0 the lead for the West Hancock Titans as they get ready for the fourth quarter play. But before that, we got a kickoff here for the Titans.
You only have 10. You only have 10.
Looks like there's only 10 defenders out there or 10 returners for LVC. Now they got 11. 17 seconds, 42-0 here in the third. Froman set to kick off. This one's a spinny boot to the 20. Kind of just died at around the 20. Broken a couple of tackles, missed a couple of tackles, and there comes Coltenberg to lay down the hammer. It actually was Manny Cedillo. Manny Cedillo getting in there. I saw the 3, and I assumed. We see what that does. 9 seconds on the clock. Manny Cedillo trying to get back for his fumble earlier with a great hit there on the kickoff. 1st and 10 for the Miners at around the 35-yard line. Clock was running. And I believe that's going to be the end of the third quarter. It is. We'll get ready for the fourth quarter of play, and I believe there will be a continuous clock with the 42-point lead here for the West Hancock Titans. A quick word from our sponsor, LJ Insurance. LJ Insurance, with locations in Keokuk and Fort Matheson, they can answer all your insurance questions. Because LJ Insurance is an independent agency, they can be sure to tailor a policy to fit your needs. Call LJ Insurance at 319-524-4223 today and ask them about life, health, auto, and home insurance and more. Or visit their office at 515 Main Street in Keokuk, Iowa. LJ Insurance, locally focused with sound advice. Coming back here, fourth quarter of play. I believe a continuous clock will be in effect. We're still trying to get an official word from the officials, I should say, but on whether there will be a continuous clock or not. Titans looking like they're going to potentially get their first win of the year against the Miners like they did last season. Again, their next pair of matchups are against Knoxville and against the Illini West Chargers. We're still trying to get an official word whether there's going to be a continuous clock or not, but nobody's looking up here for it. Nice run here from Ferguson, trying to bounce it to the outside. He gets out of the numbers and finally pushed out of bounds by Varner and number 17, Rise Plant. It looks like we are going to get a continuous clock. They do want it rolled here, it seems.
Yeah, he's winding.
And we are counting down, so continuous clock will be in effect. We didn't get an official word just till then. Now, if the Miners score, they'll stop that. No matter if it's a field goal or a touchdown. A safety, however, would not, but unlikely here on offense. They give it over to Shields on the pitch, not quite back to the line of scrimmage. There he does. Gains about 5 yards, puts his shoulder down, hits his own lineman, and he just falls for about 4 more, and that's physical running there from Shields.
Looking for anyone to hit.
Anybody. And an injury timeout on the field here for the Titans. And Titans have dealt with a couple of injuries so far this season. Jordan Crowley hasn't played a game yet, I don't believe, except I believe he actually played it week 1, but Titans have been riddled with injuries so far this injury, or plagued with injuries, I should say. We're going to head to a quick break here. TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. West Hancock Titans Sports presented by LJ Insurance. We'll be right back.
Working at MDH feels special to me because I'm also from a small community like MDH, and I love to be able to care for communities like this and be able to give them high standards of excellence with medical care as possible. You know, some people like to take more of a medical approach to their care. Some people like to take more of a holistic. And I just want to be able to make their plan of care as individualized as possible.
Whatever the day brings, and Mother Nature provides, is no match for what you'll have thanks to Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Welcome back here into Hamilton, Illinois. The downed player on the field was Manny Cedillo. Got up on his own power and walked over to the sideline. He's there now, standing up. 10:50 on the clock. Continuous clock is in effect. Looks like a pick shot, but was looking down the field. He gets it at the last second all the way to the 5, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Miners. They score in the 4th on what was looking like it was going to be a play that was going to be stopped around the line of scrimmage, but they get it into the end zone. They stop the clock at 10:38, 42-6, and just like last season, they score in the 4th quarter to get their first points of the game. I believe that is the 30th rushing touchdown. It is the 30th rushing touchdown the Titans have allowed so far this year. Set up with the 3 backs. They hand it off to Shields. He goes up the middle in the end zone, puts his shoulder down, and finds it. Touchdown and 2-point conversion is good. Makes it 8-42. The Titans will have possession here. We'll head to a break, be right back for the last 10 minutes and 37 seconds here in the 4th quarter.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
Titans getting ready to return here for the 2nd time here today. Had one to start the half, have this one here. Last time the Titans returned, their very next play was a 70-yard touchdown run from Tucker Colzenberg. We'll see if they try the onside kick here. Gage Barker, the kickoff man. This one over to Colzenberg. Takes a funny bounce to the 18. Tries to reverse it. Slips one defender, has a couple blockers, tries to go to the outside, and could have been a holding call against the Titans on number 75.
Yeah, he got a whole handful of jersey, and this back official didn't even see it here. So
Corey Skinner could have been flagged there, but he doesn't, and the Titans will start the ball at the 40-yard line. 10:09 on the clock here.
Let's see if that score kind of sparks the Miners a little bit and see if they can play a little tough defense here and see if get the ball back for their offense.
42-8 the score. Here at Jim Replinger Field. I'll update the scoreboard here for you as well. Quick pass over to Froman on the screen pass. Has a couple of blockers. Tried to cut inside and goes out of bounds around the 45. Ferguson slow to get up. I didn't like the immediate inside cut from Froman. I would have liked to see him follow. They always say follow the butt. Follow the butt of your blocker. Just stay on their hip.
Yeah, it was surprised me as well because he cut inside and his blocker had a good position to stay outside.
Yeah.
So.
Had inside leverage, then had another blocker upfield with outside leverage. Had a little bit of a gap, but just didn't quite see it. 9:05 on the clock. And again, a lot easier to see gaps up here in the press box than it is down on the field. They hand it off to Dadant, and he gets hit immediately. And coach is yelling at some of his blockers to do something.
Well, they brought their linebackers up. They must have watched a little game film from last week there. Right before the ball was snapped, their linebackers pressed the line of scrimmage. Just too many defenders for Titans offense to block.
Ball on the 43. It's 3rd and 7 here. Trips left. Let's see if they run the one-on-one on the far right. They might look over to him. They do. Immediately over to Gooding. High, and he can't come down with it. And you could just tell by how deep Sowers was, and maybe it's because I've been to so many West Hancock Titan football games in the past couple of years, but from that one, it looked like they were always going to go over to Gooding. 10-yard separation between him and the defender, and just before ran a trips left screen pass, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tried going over to him again.
Well, we got a 4th down and 8 here, so.
They're looking over to Gooding. Middle of the field, can't catch it. Should have had it. And gets a little bit of a bump. They want a pass interference call on the bump, but minimal contact. 7:40 on the clock here. Titans turn it over on downs, actually. It's going to be Miners football.
Yeah, the Titans give the Miners short field here to drive.
Titans average 2 turnover on downs per game this season. I believe that's their first of the game there. Defense going to have to come up strong. Miners with the chance here to get a score. 7:18 on the clock. They bring in a couple of defenders.
I don't understand why the clock's running when it's
I believe
turnover.
so. It's 40, and then you have to cross the 30 plane for the clock to stop again.
I gotcha. Okay.
And it's a quarterback keeper. They pitch it out to Shields, and Shields finds the outside and trips up just after crossing the first down marker, and a flag comes down here. Let's see what this is on. In these scenarios, it's either a holding, a face mask, or really a holding on the defense. Those are your only options: holding offense, holding defense, or face mask. Watch them come out with something I did not mention. We'll get the official word here. It is going to be holding. That didn't seem like a holding motion. It seemed like a block in the back motion.
It looked like illegal use of hands or a block in the back or something like that.
Which is something I did not mention. Could have been a possibility. We got Mr. Whitaker double checking here. It seems like it was only a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Yeah, it did come from around the 20 or 32-yard line. Quick pass over screen pass. Gets immediately hit by Daydant. But a good catch by Brennan Grove. Gains a couple of yards before he's brought down. That'll bring up second. Second and about 5 to go here. Second and 5, 42-8. Clock is counting, 5 minutes remaining. They motion over Shields. They pitch it to him. He's going to cut up the middle of the field. Gets around a couple Titan defenders and finally tackled, I believe, by Caden Greer around the 30-yard line. Gets the first down, and Shields has shown some great runs here today. Again, not afraid. We've been saying it the whole game. From the very first run he has not been afraid to put his pads down.
No, he's looking for contact. He had a nice hole there to run through. And as he approached the defender, he figured he'd just take him on. He is a real battering ram. He looks like a big boy in pads just from how far away we're looking.
Getting ready for first and 10 on the 30. Met in the backfield. Ball came loose, but they're going to say he was down. And Ryan Horn gets into the backfield and gets some pressure. And there's probably the biggest defender there for the Titans on the line. Ryan Horn getting active.
One thing I remember last week, as the game wore down and we got into 4 or 5 minutes left, I just think his consistent pursuit. He was getting into the backfield a lot last week with in the fourth quarter. And here he goes again with a tackle for loss.
Brings up second and 13. 3:55 on the clock.
I think at this point, if you're the Miners, I think what you want to do here is just play to maybe end this game with a score, a little positive movement for you. That is a late substitution by the Titans.
They pitch it over to Shields. The double reverse had a player in the backfield. Now they got to get the sub.
That's another push.
That's a block in the back, yes. Our very late sub was, I believe, Eli Carroll.
Number 3.
Yes, it was Eli Carroll who came in right before the snap for Hunter Froman. Then had a chance to make the play on the ball, but got immediately shoved in the back. That's going to be a penalty, a legal block in the back against the Miners. We'll see what the call is. The flag should be around the 31-yard line, and they're marking it off now.
Wes McLaren on the carry for the Miners. Penalty on the field, block in the back.
That's going to move him back 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which I thought the foul occurred at the 32, but they've pushed them all the way back to about the 44, so penalty would have occurred around the 34.
Second and 22.
Second and 22 is the call. 2:30 on the clock here. Running that triple back option. They give it up the middle. I believe this is Shields. And he gets it only about 4 yards before he is brought down. See who the carrier is. It's 42. Dempsey Whitsitt on the rush. I like how you whispered the number 42 like you don't have a microphone next to your face as well. I'm sorry to the viewers. I know everybody heard that. I had to say it. I couldn't. It was way too funny not to mention.
I didn't even realize I said 42 as I was giving you the hand signal.
Yep. You whispered 42 as you gave me the hand signal. So sorry about that a little.
Very good headphones.
Very good headphones, I guess, yes. 1:40 on the clock. Triple back. They pitch it out to the outside, trying to find the outside numbers. Schmidt gets a hand on him, trips him up. Had a hand on the shoulder pads and trips up number 17, Tyson Markley.
Ethan took the inside route there, and but was able to get a little bit of a hand on him to kind of make the running back lose a balance a little bit. So we got 4th and long here.
4th and 17. You got to expect the Titans to run it out, kneel it out if they get the ball back. 3 timeouts still for LVC, but 1:10 on the clock here.
Now, last time I remember the Miners had a long 4th down play. They did get a pass interference call. And so we'll see what kind of play they come up with here. They do have these three running backs in the backfield.
3 back. They pitch it over to the near side. Same player. Ball on the ground, and Daydant comes up with it. He gets the fumble and recovers it immediately. That's a great play from Daydant. Gets the fumble recovery and the strip. Just fell right in his pocket. Clock is running out. 25 seconds remaining here. And the Titans are going to come away with their first win of the season with a 42-8 victory against the LVC Miners. 10 seconds remaining. They're not even going to run a play here. And the Titans win this one at home, their first home win of the season, 42-8, after some great plays and really a dominant performance on offense and on defense from the Titans. A couple of miscues on the punt return and the turnovers, but really a great performance. Who did you see? We got to get down to this player of the game. There's so many options. Who would you give the player of the game to there?
Man, it's very tough because let's see, Coltenberg made it very tough on us in the second half. And to be honest with you, we didn't see much of Hunter Froman in the second half.
Froman, quiet second half, yep.
Now I realize they're coming out in the second half and running different plays and obviously maybe trying to get some other players involved. And, again, same thing with Gooding. It still would be hard to narrow it down.
I think I got mine. I'm going to say Bryce Varner. We didn't even
give it to the quarterback.
We didn't mention him at all because we were looking at the wide receivers, but really the wide receivers got those touchdowns because there were a couple that were their own making, but Varner with a great rushing touchdown, defensively had some good tackles and plays, and offensively connected with his receivers to get to the end zone. One big rushing touchdown from Coltenberg, but defensively I think Varner played well. And that's not to say Froman, Daydant there at the end had some great plays. You got Gooding, Froman, Coltenberg, Ryan Horn made some great plays defensively. Cole Furtado, great plays defensively. So some good performance from a lot of players, but I think Varner did a great job managing this game and really exploding for offense.
Well, without the quarterback, wide receivers probably don't get touchdowns.
Yep.
And some of those, especially some of those throws, I like the fact we talked about it at half. I like the fact that he comes out in the second half and throws this 9 route down here, just lays it right in the breadbasket for Gooding to score.
He had 2 of them. He had 1 to Coltenberg and then 1 to Gooding as well.
Okay, I thought the amazing catch by Coltenberg, but he still put it in a position where his guy can make a play.
Yes.
I love the throw down the seam in the second quarter to, I believe it was Ethan Schmidt, and allows his guy to make a play.
Yes.
You know what? We did not mention him, but I like the fact.
We never did.
I like the fact that you bring a very good point to the table here, and I'll get behind that one, and we'll give it to Varner.
But that's not to say Ethan Schmidt, Froman, Gooding, Daydant, Colstenberg, all Cole Furtado, Brian Horn didn't have great games, but I really think Varner, we didn't even think of him in the half. He kind of just played a great, consistent game. No turnovers from Varner, and that's really big in high school.
Yeah, I like the fact. I mean, really, I think you mentioned it there, but team effort tonight.
Yes.
Obviously, the opponent helped, but I'm going to give the Miners credit for, I think last year, what was it, 60-6 or
66-6, I believe.
And, if you're just looking at the scoreboard a little bit, give the Miners some credit for playing tough, hard-nosed football. I really liked what I'd seen out of their running backs. A couple
Shields
tough,
especially. Shields had a great game.
A couple tough running backs. The quarterback just did not have enough time to throw the ball. It did work well when the quarterback would run. But as a team, I thought the Titans did a great job tonight. Coach was able to work a couple other players in the game as the second half went on.
Yep.
But to say Varner was the player of the game, I think is a great point. Made some improvements in the second half even.
Well, that's all from here at Jim Replinger Field in Hamilton, Illinois. The Titans get the win 42-8. I'm Luke Little. John Little here with me as my color. Emily Hagee running the camera. That's all here. This has been a TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH production of West Hancock Titan Sports, presented by LJ Insurance. The Titans get the win for their first home game in the past 2 seasons. And that's all from us here tonight. Have a great night.
See you in Knoxville next week.